Here's a video of a rabid fox.
That's what he was doing before, Matt.
Yeah, now he's gonna like double almost with it backwards.
I got a hold of DNR. They're supposed to call me back.
Well, he's having a seizure is what's going on.
Yeah.
He came right at me a little while ago, Matt. I mean, if you
Look at him licking.
Rabies is caused by the rabies virus, and any virus usually has the protein coat and it has its genetic material inside. So viruses sometimes are called bad news wrapped in protein. And imagine if you're a fox and you're just walking around minding your business and you encounter one of these things. You know, this thing's hijacks your brain, you start having seizures, you start attacking other animals so that the virus can spread itself. It's a disaster. And this is something else that might seem completely different. I don't know if you guys have heard of this cult that existed in the United States back in the 90s. It's called the Heaven's Gate. So these people apparently believe that alien beings were going to come to Earth and rescue a bunch of selected people before the apocalypse or something. So they would perform all these rituals to, talk to the aliens or whatever. And then they believe that if you committed suicide in very specific ways, you could be saved. Your soul could be saved. You could connect to the aliens or whatever. And these people somehow had to wear Nikes. That was one of their requirements. I have no idea why. But again, imagine one of your loved ones just like stumbles upon this idea, this cult on the internet, and he or she gets completely captivated, and it totally ruins the person, right? That has happened, and it can happen to people. And then the reason why I bring this up is that maybe the viruses and a cult like this work in very similar ways. And another concept that I want to introduce is meme. And I'm sure you've heard of this, and then you think about internet memes. But then it's actually a scientific concept that was coined by Richard Dawkins. And basically it refers to a piece of idea that can replicate itself, just like the genes. So the idea of the gene came first, and then Richard Dawkins said, hey, maybe we can apply the same idea to pieces of culture, to ideas, because we share ideas, and ideas can mutate, evolve, replicate, and everything, right? So the internet memes, they are a type of meme, but the original word actually refers to a whole host of memes that can be in the form of many different things. And then the point that I wanted to make with the rabbit fox and the Heaven's Gate is that these two seemingly very different phenomena are actually really similar. You can think of one as being embodied by the genes and the other by memes. Genes and the memes, they're called replicators, and these are a very special kind of entities that exist in the universe, because not many things have the ability to make copies of itself. So just like genes, memes can evolve too. It gets copied from brains to brains, with error, so that there's room for evolution, and only a small percentage of them survives. And memes can have mutations too when it gets transmitted, which creates new memes. Some memes will confer greater fitness for the organism, while others can literally kill you, as in the case of the Heaven's Gate cult. And you can talk about memeplexes, right? A lot of ideas, like in politics, like ideologies, usually it's a collection of memes that sort of reinforce each other so that they can replicate faster, stay longer, etc., etc. And the cool thing about us humans is that we can do horizontal meme transfer. So in bacteria, what happens is that they actually can pass genes to each other, so genetic material to each other. So they have horizontal gene transfer. So a bacteria just swimming around can pick up a piece of DNA and start coding new proteins. Or two bacteria can conjugate with each other and share a piece of DNA, like antibiotics resistance or an ability to digest new sugars or something, right? Or a different virus can come in, infect a cell, and then transfer a piece of DNA to a new one. So there's all these different ways bacteria can transfer its genes horizontally. And what's great about people is that although we have lost the ability to exchange genes with each other horizontally, we can exchange memes, right? And we can also do it vertically, through generations. So the concept of meme itself is really fascinating. And once you learn it, you start to realize that it's everywhere. You can talk about this in so many different ways. So I'd be curious to know if you guys can think of any other examples of memes and how you can make analogies between memes and how the genes work.